think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
And now a word from our sponsor.
It's the holiday season, and now it's the perfect time to get yourself an extra wallet. Did you know they're now made of 100% recycled aluminum? You're doing your part for a sustainable future. You can feel good about yourself while you're flexing on a woman in a date. With a new ergonomic design and a metal trigger, it's satisfying. It's gratifying. Ka-chow! So the add-on feature. Don't like something or feel like making a change, it's as simple as swapping out a part. Or if you want to be able to track your wallet because you might have misplaced it in your house, Extra has you covered there with the card finder. By the way, maybe you're a fan of some different colors. They've got you covered there. Or hey, you're not into metal. I understand. There's even the classic leather wallet. Unassuming, gorgeous, beautiful. Something Patrick Bateman would use. It's truly the next generation of wallet and a warranty that'll last you a lifetime. Click the link in the description today or use the discount code It's-a-Gunham to get up to 55% off between December 9th to the 25th. Wow, all the way up till Christmas Day. The Game Awards are just as much a circle jerk as the movie and music awards they have come to emulate. Maybe I'm being harsh, but nothing feels real or genuine anymore. It's 4 hours of the game industry having a full-on autosexual moment with Jeff Keighley watching in the corner, huffing Hideo Kojima's used air, and he was totally raw dogging it.
Gandamu wa maimundai da.
With a few game trailers you may be interested in being shown in between. Every year, like Nosferatu, Jeff Keighley comes out of his PlayStation-branded coffin to suck what little life out of the game industry that's left. An industry that's slowly collapsing in on itself like a neutron star under the weight of equity and inclusion. And much like a black hole, all the great talent from game franchises you once remembered fondly now no longer exist.
How does it feel to have lived long enough to see all of your favorite franchises go down in flames?
Feels great.
Now, as always, we're recognizing an outstanding year in gaming.
Well, according to Jeff Keighley, it was a banger year for gaming. It was very positive, till they did a game devs laid off segment that only cemented just how tone deaf all of this really is. But what do I know? Kotaku says it was the best Game Awards ever.
The Flawed Game Awards delivered its best show in years.
The show started off by handing out awards to games I don't give a single flip about. Then a game about saving trees was featured. I don't know. Nothing says fun like Eco BS.
I've worked in games for the best part of 20 years. PlayStation, Disney, Us2 Games, Square Enix. I loved working there. I loved working on such massive games, but I actually had a sense of guilt. In parallel with my games career, I've always had a passion, or actually don't like to call it a passion, I like to think of it more as a sort of a purpose.
Nice tree.
It's comfy.
We're less than 20 years away from climate collapse.
There's one there.
And for me, that's incredibly scary, both for our future, but for my children's future. It struck me that there was such an opportunity to use these games that were reaching hundreds of millions of people to create awareness.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
We're 20 years away from climate collapse. Yeah, save it, lady. Greta Thunberg said the same thing in 2018. And we're still here. Get the hell out of here, you unironic tree hugger.
A top climate change scientist is warning that climate change will wipe out all humanity unless we stop using fossil fuels over the next 5 years.
This video was pointless because the show moved on as if it never happened. So why even play it? Who the hell knows? The Thick as Thieves trailer was up next, and I turned off the stream. I couldn't be bothered to waste a neuron even processing
There's
this.
a night on the town. Let's see what Razzo has for me.
Nice of you to turn up.
Oh, the McEwen estate.
Oh, I'm using Jane's Addiction music that I can't play for you. Whenever I hear their music, I can only think of how Perry Farrell tried to beat Dave Navarro live on stage. Good times.
The show also made it very clear that Snoop Dogg was going to perform. How many times did they tell you? A lot. but I'm not going to do a compilation because I don't care.
Hey, smoke every day.
Who's competing against herself in Best Adaptation. She stars in both Fallout and Arcane, the amazingly talented Ella Purnell. Welcome, Ella. And
Whoopee, there goes Fallout Girl. Jeff Keighley reminding us how big the Game Awards is, that a woman who's starring in a Amazon TV show adaptation is part of it.
Fantastic. Her eyes are too big for her head, and everyone on Twitter is trying to gaslight you into believing she's sexy.
Who hurt you?
finally, we announced his studio at the first TGA, and in 2021, he won Game of the Year. And tonight, despite our better judgment, he's going to have the stage all to himself to reveal his next game a little bit later. Joseph Ferris, welcome back, buddy.
I'd like to take this moment to take on Joseph Ferris, the hack director that got into making mediocre video games thanks to EA, who shows up to every Game Awards now every year to promote whatever game he's making. That will be forgotten faster than DSP's last beg segment.
Yo, I'll tell you!
A guest appearance from the Muppets was pretty much the highlight of the entire show. Them roasting Jeff Keighley almost as hard as YouTube chat. What a treat.
How long is this bozo gonna go on?
Well, that's what I've been asking for the last 10 years.
Oh!
Todd Howard and Troy Baker presented an award, and sadly, no one thought to give Todd Howard a stepping stool so that he didn't look so minuscule next to Troy Baker, with a guest appearance by none other than Harrison Ford. When he should have ridden off into the sunset, he drags his old ass out of his old folks' home and struggles to remember who the hell these two guys are next to him.
Your feet. Let's give a big round of applause to these two guys for the great circle. I think this guy did a great job. And now,
the Game Awards at its finest. One thing is abundantly clear. The Game Awards are as tired as Harrison Ford looks.
The first game to be announced was The Witcher 4. As a Witcher fan, I'm going to be real with you. I'm apathetic. The last few years of watching CD Projekt Red virtue signal more often than not made me lose faith in the company, to be honest with you.
Our ESG approach, CD Projekt Red approaches managing ESG issues and presented in a video with the...
I can't even read that because it's not English.
Member of the board CFO responsible for ESG reporting outlines the ambitions for the next few years related to labor, social, environmental, and corporate governance issues. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Ciri being the lead, we all knew would happen, but did they have to change the voice actress we all grew to love? And the character model herself? Hell, she's using signs, Witcher signs, and she's taking potion. If you go on Twitter and say that she's clearly less attractive, you will be met with the usual, "Oh, so you like little kids?" These people ignore the fact that Ciri was in her 20s in The Witcher 3. There are a litany of other issues with the lore. Even a casual Witcher fan like me knows.
I.e., I read one of the books before bed, once in a blue moon.
But Aiden sums it up perfectly, so let's just go through his tweet as quickly as possible.
Ignoring the uglification of Ciri, which is just par for the course now, nothing about this makes sense. Women cannot drink Witcher potions because females cannot survive the trial of grasses. Barely any males can. Ciri was trained briefly in combat by the Witchers at Kaer Morhen, but mostly because they had no idea what else to do to raise a child. They gave her herbs to enhance her strength, but they never gave her the mutagens. I say she was trained briefly because she reached puberty. The guy similarly had no idea what to do with a teenage girl, or given her uncontrollable magical powers started manifesting at the same time. Geralt asked Triss to help, but there wasn't much she could do either. She was then briefly taken by Yen and trained in magic. Largely unsuccessful, no more Witcher trained. Ciri is skilled in swordsmanship, as evidenced by her time surviving in the rats. But she is neither a Witcher nor a witch. She is a hen Ecker, a universal, I don't even know how to say that, to be honest with you, a universal traveling blood elf that is a conduit of raw magic, which is why she cannot use Witcher signs either, despite repeated attempts to teach her. Perhaps even more importantly, After Geralt and Yennefer's death, Ciri dips out of the entire Witcher universe into that of the Arthurian legend. In disgust with her homeworld, she doesn't just leave the continent, she leaves the entire damn setting. This is the lore of the books. I have not been bothered to watch the show, but I don't know how you can read Lady of the Lake and even fathom this being Ciri's future.
So basically, CD Projekt Red broke lore to make Ciri a female Geralt. I'm sure this will bring all of those women who watched the Netflix show to buy the game.
This is fine.
The Witcher 4 developer CD Projekt Red explains why it went with Ciri over continuing with Geralt as a protagonist. This is the super right choice.
I'm not even reading the rest of that because I don't care. That's a whole other video. It's a whole other video for me to get into Witcher stuff, and we're not doing that today.
He's a monster.
Now, if you go on Steam and you question this, or you talk about lore, anything, you'll just be banned.
You've been banned from the Witcher 2 Assassin of Kings Enhanced Edition Community Hub. Let's
go down here.
The reason for the ban: hateful, misogynistic, abusive, invective, off-topic, culture war, spam bait. In addition, clearly uninterested in any form of civil and or constructive discourse whatsoever.
There's a whole bunch of discourse on this Witcher 4 trailer, like tons of it. There's so many people fighting over this, and it's a video in and of itself. So let's just move on.
I didn't give you. It's important in life if you don't give you. It can help you a lot.
Directly following The Witcher was a new Elden Ring nightreign, which looks interesting, but I'm not hyped about it. It appears to be a multiplayer PvE game with bosses from previous installments of the Soulsborne games. To look at it objectively, most people play with their friends when they're playing Elden Ring or whatever, so this would be very appealing if that's the thing that you do. If you and your buddies constantly play these sort of games, you're in luck.
But my friends don't play, so I won't be playing.
Jeff later oversells us on some game.
Tonight, as a very special gift for our 10th anniversary, I am beyond honored to reveal this stunning new project for the first time anywhere, with an early look at real gameplay footage of this studio's highly anticipated upcoming title. Let's take a look at this announcement trailer that I'm sure will capture your imagination.
After watching the trailer, I can honestly say, if you weren't madly in love with these game series and you didn't try to hunt down the original copies at your local game stores, you won't give the slightest shit of this. Oh, a music segment for Civ 5 or 7 or whoever knows, I don't care.
Individual who saw developers in need and did something truly extraordinary. Meet TGA's first ever Game Changer.
The Game Changers, some new thing that they're doing on the Game Awards. It's about game devs being laid off and some guy trying to help them. He's just a small YouTuber doing his part. His heart's in the right place and he's a good person.
1,000 people in jobs.
Amir is like career Santa Claus.
If it weren't for Amir and for this community, I wouldn't have even known this job was here.
He has created this beacon of light.
Came in like a knight in shining armor and saved my life.
Cometh the hour, cometh the man.
When it comes to games layoffs, most people are not that sympathetic anymore. We have to sit here and willfully ignore that the gaming industry over the past few years has become antagonistic to the fan base. No other industry routinely takes a hot steaming piss on its consumers like the gaming industry does. We live in an age of bad optimized games and self-insert characters galore telling us about the gender spectrum.
Thank you.
So, I'm non-binary.
When you're just here to kill some darkspawn.
Hentai!
Devoted their lives to me and taught me that my value lies in how I treat other people. Growing up, all I ever wanted was to be a part of the video game industry. As a kid from Farmington, Connecticut, it felt a world away. Not anymore. Thank you very, very much.
After this awkward award speech from this very strange and odd little man, more information came out about him. He went from being this tiny YouTuber just doing his part to being a major dude at Tencent.
Aren't they about to buy out Ubisoft, result to more job losses? Makes a lot of sense if you don't think about it.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Pretty weird the Game Awards presented this guy as some humble YouTuber who was helping the game industry and didn't mention he is a director at Tencent. Tencent director who's helping job seekers find roles in gaming. Why did the Game Awards Jeff Keighley present Amar as someone who was laid off, started a tiny YouTube channel, and had the dream of helping other devs? He literally works in IP acquisition. I knew the name was familiar, but I couldn't place it. He's on one of my social media maps somewhere. They made it seem like he's been self-employed and just helping people, but he's got one of the most powerful connections under his belt.
Whoa, is that Savvy again? Oh, here we go, Savvy. You asking questions you shouldn't be asking, you godforsaken bigot.
So this guy that they're celebrating right now on the Game Awards is an industry plant. We're going to skip to the part that seems important. Women in gaming industry are paid 16% less on average than their male counterparts. Minority groups are 30% likely to be promoted to leadership positions. Disabled employees experience a 25% lower likelihood of being hired for roles they are qualified for. Older workers, 50 plus, are 40% more likely to face age-related bias in hiring and promotion. LGBTQ plus employees report a 21% higher incidence of harassment in the workplace. Employees from a lower socioeconomic background earn 18% less.
Listen, the LGBTQ people of today, if you misgender them by mistake, they act like it's harassment. So I think that 21% is very skewed, little mister.
Screw it, we're moving on.
There was more to the story, but this is an autistic detail. It's a cynical take of the Game Awards. Let's speed run this from now on.
To the game of games!
Yes, Frank, good, you're getting it.
Borderlands, don't care, but the lore is pretty interesting. Splitgate 2, didn't even hear the first one. Another fast-paced first-person shooter with a lot of bright colors and ADD-riddled garbage. Haven't heard of those before. Up, and it's got rap music in the trailer. How original. Dragon Age Veilguard. I am non-binary. Some trash band with a singer who painted his hands black. Never heard of Gloves, bro? Virtual Fighter comes back from the dead. Good luck fighting for relevance in an oversaturated FGC scene that seems to only favor the new Street Fighter.
Bring back Dead or Alive volleyball, you uncultured swines.
Project Sentry. A more violent-looking Yakuza set in 1950. The Kojima obligatory snow job. We're just fast-forwarding past this because I honestly don't care what he has to say, and I'm not interested in anything he's doing unless it's Metal Gear. Death Stranding bored me to tears. Onimusha. This is an unexpected surprise. It took Capcom long enough to realize they had more than Resident Evil remakes to lean on. Wow! After fast forwarding for literally an hour, we come to the Mafia Old Country. As cool as the trailer looks, the last two Mafia games also had cool trailers, and they were about as hollow as Dylan Mulvaney's soul. Last trailer that they pumped up. The Naughty Dog game hated round the world. I don't know what this game's called anymore. It's the Heretic of Booty Juice or something like that. Prophet Heretic. I don't care. I just don't. The game that dared to dream, what if Rice Gums was a hype beast space lesbian with major branding from Porsche and Adidas sneakers.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
With the actor Kumali Ninjani, I don't care what his name is.
You are racist.
It's the dude from the Eternals. You remember that trash movie?
Can you imagine how many lives this is going to be saving?
Well, anyway, it didn't do good and it really hurt his feelings.
Eternals actor Kumali Ninjani says his mental health was affected after negative reviews for Marvel film. I still talk to my therapist about it.
Tell me your life is so effing easy without telling me your life was easy.
This game is posed to eat a massive sack of shit, judging by how fast Naughty Dog turned off the comments. The voice actress also had some things to say, and she's your usual space case LA liberal.
And then as far as with non-binary and transgender, I hope that we just start seeing that the future is here whether we like it or not. We need to not just accept it, but embrace it. Embracing something and seeing not only the beauty of it in it, but the way that it contributes to the world and contributes into the way that anybody of any gender, race, creed, color can form their identity and can walk through the world with pride and their chin up high, like, I think is so important for the generation coming behind us.
Shut when you think it's
And you know Sony's got to be pumping like $500 million in this game. I can feel it. This is getting Concord money, dude. They don't want it to fail.
The soundtrack was pretty decent, though. It was made by Trent Reznor. Well, that makes sense. Wow. This really is Druckmann trying to rub elbows with famous people wherever he can.
Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet details. Over 250 developers have been working on it for 4 years.
Yeah, no. About the same amount of people working on Concord for 6 years. Am I supposed to be surprised or amazed?
After layoffs, Naughty Dog underwent a restriction at Neil Druckmann that would ensure the company could operate as an IP powerhouse.
Yeah, sure. Returns Naughty Dog's roots. Okay, whatever. Blah, blah.
Story is set in an alternate universe where space travel has significantly advanced by 1986.
But the women look like your average Camilla Harris supporter shaving her head bald.
You play as Jordan Munn,
Great name for a woman.
a dangerous bounty hunter who ends up stranded on Sempara, a distant planet where communication with the outside universe went dark hundreds of years ago. Will be an emotional, character-driven, epic journey with the deepest gameplay in Naughty Dog's history.
How much you want to bet that chick is gay?
Takes inspiration from classic animes like the 1988 movie Akira and the 1990 series Cowboy Bebop, scored by Nine Inch Nails artist Yeah Yeah Yeah.
Listen, the last time an ego-driven American director was inspired by Akira and or Cowboy Bebop, we got Netflix's Cowboy Bebop and Star Wars' The Acolyte. Neil so desperately wants to be a Hollywood insider, it's actually sad. And this is why the gaming industry sucks, because it's loaded with people like him. And all of them are in California, huffing the fentanyl farts of the freakiest stinky in the town. Remember that time he went to the red carpet and no one took his photo? You can literally see his soul die. We're gonna play it here and enjoy the look on his face. This is where you belong, Neil. Under the boot of the machine. Oh, hold on. Game of the Year was Astrobot. On brand, Game Awards. On brand. People really thought Jeff Keighley would let Wukong win over Sony? Have you been eating paint chips, boy? All right, I'm out of here. I don't care. As I stay any longer, I'm going to go off the rails.